Let's talk about, well, Bajaj Finance. Now, a handful of updates coming here when it comes to Bajaj Finance. First, of course, is, an update when it comes to credit growth. And again, it's not been the best. But it's been a little bit of slowdown, but that's not a key concern at the moment. And it's not like the street is looking at it, with any concern at the moment. Perhaps the bigger update is that we finally now have details of the Bajaj Housing Finance IPO. And for that, we have Harsh, who's joining us to give us more on that one. Harsh, over to you.
Well, so Bajaj Housing Finance, it's a 6,560 crore rupee IPO, of which 3,000 crore is a pure offer for sale by Bajaj Finance itself. So they'll get cash worth 3,000 crore in their books on the back of this IPO. The size of Bajaj Housing is around 97,000 crore in terms of AUM. It's one of the largest in terms of housing finance NBFCs in the country, behind just LIC Housing. There's no other housing financier which is this large. And the growth in this company is what really stands out. 72% is the compounded growth that Bajaj Finance has clocked in terms of its AUM over the last 7 years up to FY24. So you've seen very strong growth that Bajaj Finance has seen on a low base and now on a higher base. Currently, it's growing at 30+%. So 31% growth year on year clocked in Q1 of FY25. That's one thing that really stands out for investors. The other thing is with regard to asset quality. For any lender, very, very critical. Your GNPA ratio is at 0.28%. Your net NPA ratio is 0.1%. The lowest in the industry likely, especially with the kind of size that Bajaj Housing has, and therefore a very interesting play even from that perspective. What will really hold the key will be valuations. Bajaj Finance trades at 5.5 times price to book. The current book value per share of Bajaj Housing Finance is 19 rupees. And therefore, if one were to take a correlation of 5 times price to book, you can take a guess as to where the IPO or the IPO price will be. But we'll have to wait and watch for that. Likely an expensive IPO is the expectation, at least. And in terms of where Bajaj Finance stands, the current book of Bajaj Finance is at 3.5 lakh crore consolidated. Now with this demerger, it will stand at 2.5 lakh crore. So around 30% of Bajaj Finance's current consolidated book will now get listed separately. Maybe some amount of holding company discount may start to creep into the Bajaj Finance stock as a result of that. Wait and watch, because the Bajaj Finance stock moved 7% in trade last week.
Yeah, fair enough. Interesting, Harsh. Thank you so much for getting us that update on, Bajaj Finance, of course, which has had a positive effect for now, at least with respect to that particular impending IPO, which is imminent. But Shamila, your view on the Bajaj Fin Twins now, how would you go about them?
Once again, I'm positive on both the stocks, but I think here the only concerns that I sometimes have is that the moves in them are very like now you'll suddenly have a 7% up move, you'll have some days of downward move, etc. So if you're a long-term investor, then it's okay, but I think if you're a trader, then you should be cautious. And given the fact that the way Bajaj Finance, for instance, has grown its book, and the fact that now going forward for them, a good monsoon will mean that, because a part of the stress on the stock was also the fact that the rural bit wasn't performing as well as, the last couple of years have been a little slow there. But going forward, I think that we can expect on the back of these good monsoons that things will pick up there as well. So overall, I think if you're a longer term investor, this is definitely a stock. Both the stocks, in fact, as you said, both the Bajaj Twins should be, one of them should be definitely part of your portfolio.